100% of every single time that this has happened in Bitcoin price history, Bitcoin not only went up for an extended period of time, but it also began the move violently into the up direction. There's a huge caveat to this that I need to share with you in this video that equates to the need to have your guard up very heavily, but also have the mentality of being confidently bullish. You would think if you're confidently bullish that you don't want your guard up. There's a massive caveat to this I have to share with you in this video. This video is about Bitcoin price action. However, it's going to be exceptionally helpful for those of you who are in fact more interested in altcoins and how to think of what to do with your current altcoins, whether you're fully into your altcoin positions, zero in, you need to know, should I get in now type of ideas, or I'm in a little bit, I need to expose myself more. No matter which group describes you, this video is going to be exceptionally helpful. New viewers, stick around. You're going to like what you see. Returning viewers, this is when you hit the like button. New viewers, wait till you like the video to hit the like button. Let's get it. All right, 100%. Let's go back in price history, see I can put price on, put price off. If you don't know how to do that, oftentimes there is an eyeball over here, kind of like this eyeball that I can click, make it go on and off. If you can't see the eyeball and you want to take off price for the awesome practice of the idea that price is often noisy when algorithms are indeed more looking at the EMAs, it's a nice thing to know how to do if you've never done that. So 100%. What does this mean? This was covered in my last video. If you want to know how to set this up, my last video, you can click right here and go to that video, and there are some timestamps. Use them, set this up so you can follow along, and then jump right back over here. Or go watch that video after this. EMA cloud flipped red, interacted to some degree around this bigger EMA that did not flip red and flipped green up and away. Was it violent? Yes, sir, it was violent. Did it go up for an extended period of time? Yes, sir, it did. So 1 for 1 so far. This literally just happened at the beginning of the year, new year of 2024. That was the last time this happened, and starting off 1 for 1. Here, it did not flip red, then flip green. So this is not an example, but in my last video that you might want to watch if you haven't, I described that there's no way Bitcoin goes sideways here for much longer than a month. It has to move violently, either up or down. It's 100% rule both ways. It just can't go sideways. It's got to make a violent move is what's happening. In this case, it did not flip back green. So where did the violence go? Down. When this one goes from green to red and it interacts with here, if it does not flip green fairly quickly, it's 100% price history. Doesn't 100% guarantee, but 100% of every time in the past, it's gone down violently and for a decent amount of time. Here, flipped red, but as it interacted with the bigger cloud, it flipped green. Went up violently for a fairly extended period of time. This is the weakest version. This is the weakest version. A month went up violently, 25%. This is the weakest one out of all. All other cases, so that could technically be an exception to the rule, but it's still more or less work. All right, here we go once again. Take off price. Flipped red above this line, or above or in this line. And did it go up violently? Yes, sir. That is very violent. And for a fairly extended period of time. Go back to another one. You get the point here, but it's happening again. Okay? So if it doesn't flip back green, what happens? Every single time in price history, it's violently down for an extended period of time. If it flips red, interacts with this, then flips green, what happens? It goes up violently for an extended period of time. This was the 69K top. I mean, it even goes back to here. Put price back on, booyah. I wish I would have known that around late September of 2021, but I had not found this rule yet. This is 100% rule. Not 100% guarantee, 100% price history every single time. The rule's never been broken. So you're thinking, well, in the intro, you said there's a caveat. Why do I need my freaking guard up if it's 100%, price history? Even though I'm not guaranteeing anything, I hear you, Tim, but why do I need my guard up? Here is why. Multiple 100% rules that should have triggered a downside move, or at least a correction, not a reversal back down to 15.5. So from the 15.5 low, since we've been going up from there have been multiple, it might only be two, but multiple 100% price history that it should have corrected that didn't play out. One example is that Bitcoin had, and now doesn't, had a 100% historical record of around New Year's Day, January 1st, 45 days after or 45 days before a 90-day total window, 45 and 45. Within a 90-day window on each side, so 45 on each side, New Year's, Bitcoin had a New Year's correction 14 out of 14 years. The smallest correction in that history was 27.5% in that 90-day window. We didn't get it. Didn't happen. Something new completely happened. So that is the caveat and why your guard actually has to be up. And if you think about this, this is a great opportunity for a nasty trap in form of, yes, you do blast up to 80, 85, then slam down, or you just peter out of this and slam down to 40 for that monthly higher low perfect target of around 45K, but you wick down to 40. But that's not probable. What I just said is absolutely not probable. It's by far most probable to zoom up, folks. Okay, I don't want to give the case, it's probably not going to go down. But one reason why, or to add on to the reasons why you should have your guard up while at the same time being aggressively, confidently bullish, but with aggressive stops too, aggressively defensive, is Bitcoin is doing new crap. I'm telling you, historical 100% are not great analysis anymore. It's good analysis, but you should not enter into things, take action without risk management. There is great reason to have risk management, because if Bitcoin can do new things to the upside and cancel bearish triggers and things that, see, this means bearish triggers in sign language, by the way. You can give a thumbs up if you laughed, new viewers. But if it can do new things and ignore downside stuff, it can do new things and ignore upside stuff. This is an upside thing. 100% upside, historically. It can ignore it and go down. To add to that, why this is a juicy area, not a probable, what I'm saying is not probable, why it's a juicy area, why it really could develop into this is a nasty first time ever, and it just dumps in your face. It would probably have to trickle down and go sideways and then dump. I don't think it has much chance to actually dump from here. But not zero, but under 1% chance, way under 1%, like a tenth of a percent. But why this could break down from here, making this a great opportunity to short, or to consider shorting. It's not a good time to consider shorting, but in hindsight, why it might have been, okay, so it's not right now. I would not recommend a shorting. Is because on top of the fact that Bitcoin is doing new things to the upside, it has permission thus to do new things to the downside. But everybody's too freaking bullish. Everybody's bullish. And when you have all sheep herded and going in one direction, bad things can happen. We're all bullish. The stock market's on fire. Dixie and the dollar are on the small time frames going down and have room to go down more and still be in a higher low strength position. But in the meantime, go down, which if Dixie goes down, Bitcoin and the stock market have the tendency to go up, inverse pressures here. There's a lot of stuff right now that is showing that everything's bullish. everything, not just in crypto. It's not just our sheep. We sheep, crypto ban, right? Crypto, not just us sheep. All like it's like the mega sheep herd. We're all in the same area, and it's scary enough if just all crypto people, like the greed index is. It might not be that high yet because it's typically relies on price action for the greed, but the sentiment greed right now. So the greed index technically probably isn't very high. Because it relies on daily candle closures compared to the previous closure to some degree, I believe. And so it wouldn't be that high. But the sentiment out there, if you just look at X or Twitter, whatever it's called now, Tesla X, I know what it's called. I'm messing around. Everything, 120K, 140K. Even I think that if Bitcoin breaks out here, it could do 100K or slightly more this month. And that is the analysis. It seriously would, because it's already on blue sky breakout on all time frames. It would probably begin the beginning of a parabolic move. Blue sky breakouts are aggressive. So even I am in that camp. I am one of those sheep because I should be. We all literally should be on the same train. But when that happens, there is an increased chance of weird crap to happen. Because so much liquidity in forms of other people who are long, their stops and liquidations are all what? If you're long. If you're long, all the sheep are long. What happens to all their long orders? Not on spot, but on futures. If you're playing with leverage, so 2x, 3x, 5x, 100x, whatever. All those people trying to make money off the market on more than just buying plain old Bitcoin or plain old alts, if you're playing with futures, those are sell orders. So it creates liquidity. Money often loves following liquidity. And when that happens, it does it quickly and then tries to recover. But sometimes when that happens, it can't dip and rip. It gets stuck in a 45-degree angle, confirms a lower high, these EMAs start curling around, and then it drops. It's not guaranteed to be able to dip and rip. So the folks who are taking longs here, they aren't guaranteed to win, but it's the big money. It probably would dip and rip. And so your plans could be pretty messed up if you were to enter heavily now, because you should be confidently bullish. Because everybody's bullish, there's so much liquidity in sell orders, and the reason why that would make why big money would want to make price go down there is because if let's say it's $100 million worth of sell orders and liquidations and stuff, like for example, they can take on $100 million of longs in this area. If there's only $5 million, because not everybody's bullish in liquidations and stops, then you can only take on $5 million of longs. You can't make as much money because it's a 1-to-1. If you want to take on $100,000 of long, if there aren't willing people in the amount of $100,000 of shorts, the opposite trade, you cannot take that trade. It won't come into existence. So because this is already into existence, because everybody's bullish, these sell orders are here, people can go long down here. But to do it, they have to sell their Bitcoin on spot and crash it down, take on longs, and then use the money freed up from selling Bitcoin to then buy it again. But you don't matter about the cost of the fees and buying it, just whipping it around on spot, because you're making money from futures. So there is so the third reason on top is there's high level of financial incentive for something weird to happen even without news. Guard up. Now, when would I feel comfortable letting my guard go? I usually reserve this stuff for my Discord. So I will this is brought to you by your self-sponsor. You have to listen to the sponsorship before I give you information. It's typically for my private paid-for community. I have YouTube tiers, the blue button below that's join. You can click it. A 90-second video will pop up describing what you get, even though that video needs updated. I have 3 tiers instead of 2 now. Check that out. If you are a fan of Discord, I have a Discord community. Links to that in the description section of this video. Instructions on how to join as a free member. Check it out. See if you like it first. Even though a lot of the content's locked to the free users. All right. So I'm going to give you an idea here that could be very valuable. And I try to hold the more valuable content for my paid for community. But I'm going to give it to you here since you listened to my announcement. When you could consider it being less guarded is take all that other fancy crap off. Oop, wrong one. There we go. The most important horizontal in all of crypto is, oddly enough, and I'm telling you this is the most important horizontal in all of crypto. Your grandma cannot convince me otherwise. The 3-month candle open. Once that's, so it's red right now. It's under it. But once that candle flips green, it could go straight to 100K. Right? So before I show you where I would stop being so defensive with my guard up and I would be able to breathe and relax, is every single time you get a quarterly candle go above your previous all-time high, it's off to the races. Every single time a quarterly candle closes above there, it's off to the races. That's 20K top, I think. Should be 3,200. Yes. Every time that a quarterly candle gets above here, it's off to the races. Every single, so 69. Not as in, I'm not saying 69 like Adam Sandler and Billy Madison, but 69K top. Once you get above it, so here we are, but it's red. However, this candle closed above it. So it's already confirmed. The trigger's already there. Look, it's every single time you get a closure above this, it goes up violently. It's the bull run, right? I hope it's not true. I want this to break down, but I don't think it's going to happen, folks. I need and want to activate my plans for crypto and what I really want to do. I need price to break down. But it's not going to happen. So I'm going to have to change my plans most likely. I seriously want this to go down. But it's just, once this flips green, all this would be 2 months of a backfill. And that last month of the quarter, which is now 23 days left, it would probably make up for that time and blast. And if the candle's just as big as the last one, which it would probably be a little bigger, but let's just say it's of equal size. Hopefully this doesn't make me look stupid. I didn't plan this, but I'm just confident that it should be pretty high because I'm good with patterns. Yes, okay, good. It's above 100K. Whew. It's like, it should be that big or bigger. And it'll probably do it all within the last month of the quarter. It should take off. And look, usually when you have a candle flip green that pulled back, the next month after that is even hotter. The next, look, this could be seriously aggressive for a long time. I might be on the wrong time frame to show you this. Not enough candles for that. So when a larger term time frame candle pulls back like that and turns green, it ends up being a green candle with a long green wick. And it often gets fairly big. But in this case, it's a blue sky breakout. It's very likely to be big. And then historically, after that, even no matter the size of that candle that flipped green, the next one after that is, so even here, this one was still red, but the next one took up. That's what this quarterly is doing. It even happens when it's red. But when you get that buyback at the very end, that means, yes, overall in this one weekly candle, the sellers won, but not at the end. The last like 3 days or 2 days or even 3 hours, the bulls were kicking the bear's ass. It's over. The bulls are in control. Boom. That's what I'm talking about. So if this one flips green, and I want to give you an example. I should have had this prepared. Here's an okay example, but it was red. Then it flipped green, went up higher, but this is kind of in a downtrend. But even a downtrend, see, it's a downtrend. The next candle was green, and the next one after that started green. That should happen on. Here's a good example. This is what I think it could do on the quarterly. It has wick down. It's red, but when it flips green, it'll take off. Then the next month is just as big, or the next candle, whatever time frame. That's a good example right there. So this candle was red, but when the wick's longer, like it often has even a bigger effect. Damn, why didn't I have that prepared? I didn't realize I was going to go down this path. Anyway, I think I've made my point. So that is why it's time to be fairly urgently bullish and active. But it's also time, there are so many great reasons on why to be highly defensive despite being very confidently bullish. I hope you've enjoyed this video. New viewers, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you liked what you saw. Feel free to check out the Discord community where I'm not selling you a bunch of courses or indicators. It's mostly live interaction with me, camera time, FaceTime if you want, in a group setting. That's the nature. We have about 5 to 6 opportunities a week on Discord, 5 opportunities on YouTube a week to have a live interaction with me. YouTube, it's not face-to-face or video-to-video or even voice-to-voice. You get the point. Can't do that, but on Discord, it's similar to a Zoom room. Check out the Discord, or if you're not a big fan of Discord because it's unknown territory, you get a good amount of value from the YouTube tiers as well. The blue button down below the join button is how you check that out. You just got Timified worldwide. Peace.